Well, hey friends, I'm here with the SUV with a foam unit back in a parking lot of a Canadian Tire, which also has a auto repair shop. And I think we can all figure out what's going to happen there. So I'm going to get out of this parking lot until it gets a little bit darker, a little bit less busy, and the store closes. Because sitting here all evening is going to draw a lot of suspicion. Okay, there's a bunch of these signs all over the parking lot. So we're going to have to be a little sneaky, a little crafty, and very stealthy. That's not a problem for me. I have some experience in this department. And we just go find a place to sit and wait for it to get a little bit darker and the parking lot to empty out. Well, this takes me back. I forgot just how much time is spent sitting around waiting when you're doing stealth car camping in a parking lot. It's quite a bit, but it gives you time to listen to the radio, read a book. Usually during normal times, I would be at a pub or something having a pint and a good meal. And then after they close, the other stores would probably be closed. I can pull into my parking spot for the night and then leave in the morning before anybody shows up for work. The good thing with this parking lot that I'll be doing tonight is there is a repair shop right there. This definitely looks like it needs a lot of work, so it does not look out of place parked beside the other cars that are in for repair. Provided I get out of there before the people come in the morning to start working on the vehicles, I think it's going to be smooth sailing. And if they do come by and they start bringing vehicles into their shop and they see me laying in the back of this thing sleeping, that is as busted as it gets. So, just going to kill a little more time here and drive around a bit, grab something to eat from a drive-thru or something, and then we're going to get cozied up in the back here. I got a bunch of sleeping bags, some water, foamy, a bunch of good stuff. And it should be a quite simple, normal, regular overnight stealther in a car. Now, as I was driving around to kill some time, I stopped by one of these visitor center spots. They look like a good spot to stop for the night, but they're not. The only one time I've ever had that knock on the window has been at one of these places sleeping in a car. Aside from that, I've parked in some very risky spots and had good luck. But with the visitor center, yeah, if there's a car parked there in the middle of the night, you're obviously not looking for maps of the area. You're there sleeping for the night, so expect a knock if you try that. Well, the parking lots are still really full. It looks like about an hour until they clear out, and then there's fewer people around. So I'm going to take this opportunity to go grab some grub, and we'll chow down on that, and then find our way into our cozy little parking stall for the night. While I'm waiting for some delicious piping hot comfort food, I did notice a boondocker out there. So that is a rig if I've ever seen one. Looks pretty frosted up on the windows inside, but I thought I would take a look around the parking lots and see who else might be camped out for the night, judging on my experience of what they kind of look like sometimes. Just picked up the food. We got a chicken and mushroom fettuccine. That'll be delicious. I think there's some green onions in here, something else as well, I think. Nice warm comfort food, because in the summer you can do a sandwich in the car, that's okay. In the winter you just want something warm in the belly. And cooking in the car is never that good of an option. You get steam on the windows. It's obvious that you're cooking in it, especially if you're at the point of stealth where you're going to be for the night. So this is just an easy option. I can chow down on this away from where I'm going to camp for the night. I drove past and it's looking pretty sparse in that parking lot. I think there's one vehicle there overnight, right by the mechanic shop. So as long as I'm out of there really early in the morning, I think things will be okay. Shouldn't be too big of an issue, because it will be cold and I'll probably be waking up a bit here and there in the night. But I'm going to munch down on this a bit and we'll go take another look at that parking lot. So we're here at what's going to be home for the night. And there's the one lonely vehicle out there. The rest of the lot, completely empty. And that is not good for stealth, but just means it's going to have to be a super early morning. Now I'm going to go kill a little more time. Gonna get a step 2, which clearly can't be a beer when you're sleeping in a car. So I'm probably going to get a hot chocolate or something, I think. Oh, hi. Could I get a large hot chocolate, please?
Okay, and anything else?
No, that's all.
Okay. 408 at the second window, please.
Thank you. Chocolatey. Back in the staging parking lot right now. And I will wander over after all these businesses close, but there's still stores open here. So I can kind of hang around and it looks like I belong here. There's a liquor store open just teasing me, but that's okay. This does remind me of the boondocking days, I'll tell you that. I did work, but I worked half-time or part-time, that type of thing. So it left me a lot of time to sit around in the RV, you know, catch up on Breaking Bad, all that type of stuff. And when I wasn't out exploring, if the weather was too crummy, you had to kind of sit around playing cards or solitaire or whatever, listen to the radio, reading a book. And there was an unspoken code of conduct, like a professional courtesy among everybody living in an RV or a van or even a car, is that you don't all congregate in one parking lot and get to know each other and hang out together in the parking lot, because there's nothing that would get that whole thing shut down quicker than, a bunch of guys living out of their cars all, playing dice in the parking lot or something. So we'd give each other our space, our own territories. And if somebody did pull up that wasn't really familiar with what was going on, you'd normally just roll your eyes and pull out of there because, one looks not too bad, but a group of 5 looks like the carnies are taking over the parking lot. So we didn't want any of that type of problem. And just a little more time, I'm probably going to go over there in a couple of hours. And I really want this to be a short and sweet night of just pull in at like midnight, get out of there at 6:30 in the morning or something. I'm going to take another look at their hours. I know people, normally the opening staff will show up an hour before or whatever. So I got that type of a time frame to look at. And of course where I'm parking seems to be where the staff park when they pull up in the morning. But my breakdown story that I have already fabricated is that my battery is iffy and on the way out, which it actually is. And I don't want to chance it. I want to be parked right beside the store when it opens so I can get a battery and continue on my journey. And that should satisfy them. And if a store manager happens to knock on the window in the morning, I'll say, oh, thank goodness, I need a battery. Then I'll just get a battery. So problem solved. That should be a very reasonable excuse to be sleeping in that lot overnight at the auto repair shop. Well, this is a treat. The lights have gone off. It's fairly late, and it is time to have a stealthy slumber. Oh, this is good. I'm going to park not too close to that propane filling station, but in the neighborhood. This is good. I should do just fine. I think most of the staff, when they show up, if they're the first ones here, they're going to park close to the door. So right in here looks like my spot. Perfect. The car thermometer is showing minus 10 Celsius, so that's not too bad. Just now the art of crawling into the back and getting ready to sleep. It certainly doesn't feel very stealthy. In fact, it's not. Aside from the parking lot being empty and no lights, these are just mildly tinted windows. So if someone were to drive by and I had my head slightly up, they would see in no problem. But we're going to rely on the fact that I haven't seen much traffic and it's very dark. And as soon as the lights go on in the morning, I am out of here. Like if these big light poles turn on, I'm not sticking around to sleep in. So I have to give a big shout out to all the people who've made beer donations. Much appreciated. There's a lot of people that have sent kind words and everything, and I'm going to get through emails here. We've had production issues, of course, because sometimes with a one-man show doing a weekly turnaround unscripted reality vlog, we run into problems. So we had one stealth spot that I showed up at, and it turned into a disaster. It's a really good concept, but I need to do it a little bit more well-planned. So that will be in the future, and thanks guys for watching. We're going to get the old nighttime camera rolling, and we'll see you in the morning. It won't be too long of a sleep, I don't think, tonight, but I'm just gonna cover up and try to be as quiet and stealthy as possible. Alright, the lights, the main lights have turned on here. And that's my cue to get out of here. That was a short and sweet sleep, but don't need to wear out my welcome. So I'll crawl out of the back here, and gonna make some tracks to find some breakfast or something like that. And successfully made it through the night. And no one is the wiser. Oh yeah. Still -10, perfectly reasonable temperature. And yeah, people just starting to get mobile and moving around for the day, and yours truly is no exception. All right, -9 on the sign at about 6:30, so that's absolutely perfect. Canadian Tire was going to open up at 8 o'clock. So we were probably half an hour away from somebody working there showing up. Perfect timing. Didn't even have an alarm set. I just kind of woke up automatically and looked around and said, all the lights are on. Time to hit the bricks. So yeah, I'm gonna try and grab some grub here from the Friesen brothers. I used to actually work for them years ago in one of my numerous jobs, which there have been plenty. I ran the night crew at a grocery store for years, so I know they do have pretty good food there, so we'll go check that out. Well, I waited around for a little bit here, and it doesn't seem like they still have those hot breakfast offerings I remember so fondly, which is possibly not a bad thing, because I did eat 2 pounds of fettuccine alfredo last night. So plan B, I guess, will be to just grab a coffee and head on home back to beautiful wife. And it was a pretty simple, basic textbook overnight car camp. I didn't do anything fancy to cover up the windows, and pulled in really late, pulled out really early. That's exactly the way to do it. But don't cook in the car in the parking lot, don't eat in the car in the parking lot, just pull in there to sleep and pull out in the morning. And it was a good thing I did. I just drove past a second ago, and it's tons of cars there. So if I were my normal self waking up at 9:30, I'd be busted. I think somebody showed up about 15 minutes after I left, because I did another loop back and somebody was already there, parked like right beside where I was camped. So that would have been interesting. Anyhow, if you like these weird things, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching this far, and I can't really travel too far right now because of various reasons we won't get into. But around Alberta, I can get around to do kind of camping things. If you are living in an Alberta town and want to see me try stealth camping in your town, let me know. Vote for your town, and I'll see if I can get out to do a little stealther in your town. If you know of a good spot, even better. And I'll expand that as soon as restrictions lift or whatever into other provinces, maybe North America. Let me know. You want to see me stealthing somewhere, vote for your town. I'll look through them and I'll check them out. Google Earth and Google Maps and Street View. I'll see what might work, and maybe I'll just wing it. Who knows? So let me know what you think, and cheers, guys. We'll see you later on.